That's a good one. Whoa, come on now. Whoa, got an acrobat. Get up in here. Whoa, yes. Oh my goodness. Man, oh man, look at this fish, guys. Guys, this is Gene Jensen. Today we're going to talk about my 5 favorite rods that are under $100. Awesome. Skinny though. Whew. Now, before I start with my first rod, the links to all of these rods are going to be down in the description. So if you guys are interested in taking a closer look at them and seeing what all is available, just check the links down in the description. But the first one on my list is a new one out by 13 Fishing. It's the Fate Black ChatterCrank rod. Let me get this bait in and I'll show it to you. And I didn't even know this existed until I cast. So it is a 7'4" medium heavy moderate action rod. It is, like the name says, it is designed for chatterbaits and crankbaits. And it's a dang good spinnerbait rod as well. It's got a lot of tip to it, which is what you need. It's got a parabolic bend, as they call it. But it also goes straight to a good stiff backbone, which means you get a whole lot of power in your hook sets, and that's what you need for spinnerbaits and chatterbaits and buzzbaits and that kind of stuff, because you got to have that flex to be able to cast those lighter baits, or just to cast them good. And you also got to have that flex to be able to prevent you from losing fish. You don't want that rod to go back to straight and get your line slack very fast, and these fish tend to hit these baits pretty hard and solid. But anyway, anything with an open hook anyway, you want to have a moderate action rod. I've got it paired with a 7:3 gear ratio reel. This is a Concept E, but I love the 7:3 gear ratio for this, just because it's about the speed I like to fish it, and I can slow down pretty easy. And I don't typically burn a chatterbait, and I don't typically burn a lipless crankbait, not as fast as I can at least. But just a dang good rod. It's quickly become one of my favorites. I always have it on the deck of my boat, and I absolutely love it. All right, just a little note. The ChatterCrank rod, this rod right here, it's not gonna be available until spring of 2019, but it's gonna be there at most retailers. Tackle Warehouse will carry it. I'm sure Dick's will and a bunch of other places, but look forward to it, man. It's a great rod. I just wish it was out right now. All right, so the next one is another one of the bright glow sticks. It is a Fate Black from 13 Fishing. The Fate Blacks are all $99.99, but it is a 6'7" medium heavy fast action rod. I got love bugs all in the air, so if you guys see me swatting bugs, that's what it is. But it's a great all-around accurate casting rod. The shorter the rod, the more accurate it is. I love to have a short, medium heavy action rod, be able to cast lures in precise precise locations, skip rod, things underneath docks. But right now I'm throwing a Cinco on a really light. I think this is an 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce sinker, and it's perfect for those lighter jig heads, those lighter shaky heads, or those heavier shaky heads, those lighter jig heads, and light Texas rigs. And when you set the hook, it goes straight to a really good stiff backbone, and you can fight just about any fish with it. Don't let the short rod scare you. It is phenomenal for fighting fish. It's really sensitive, and I absolutely enjoy fishing this one, especially when I'm fishing in close to the bank, into tight cover, and needing to get it into places that I can't typically get baits into. It's awesome. I've got it paired with a 7-3-1? No, I've got it paired with an 8-1-1 Concept Z fluorocarbon line, and I've been actually catching quite a few fish today on this little Cinco with it, but it's one of those that just, it needs to be in an arsenal of somebody who's serious about covering water and fishing the bank and getting baits into precise locations. Did I just get bit? Nope. But that's number 2. All right, so my next one is a 7'1" medium action Fate Chrome at $79.99. You guys who've watched me for a long time know that I love medium fast action rods. And at 7'1", it is the perfect length to be able to throw things like topwater And square bills are really good, especially if you're ripping it through heavy cover and you're banging square bills off of things and you're fishing aggressively with it. You really need something with quite a bit of backbone, and that fast action rod goes to the backbone pretty quick. It's a good all-around rod for me and for the style that I like to fish. And that's the biggest thing I always say to people who are looking for the best all-around rod is figure out what your style is, figure out what lures you fish the most, and get the rod that is best for the majority of those lures. And a medium fast action rod is perfect for me. I've got it paired with an 8:1 gear ratio reel today, usually a 7:3 but 8:1 just because I want to be able to work certain baits a lot faster, especially like this THKO wake bait. This is actually a pretty cool wake bait. When I first started fishing these a few years ago, the first 5 fish I ever caught on them were 5 pounds plus. I don't know if that's something or not, but man, it's a good little bait. But just a good rod, and you can't beat these rods for $79.99. I have said it 100,000 times that they're the best deal on the market. They're not the best rods on the market, but I'll flat out tell you that, but you're getting more rod for your money at $79.99, and I love this medium action rod. All right, so my next one is, I had to pull it out of the box because I'm not really using jigs today, but it's my jig rod. I love jig fishing when I've got good hard bottom, good rocky points, crawfish out active and everything else, especially in the spring and the fall and in through the winter. I love throwing a jig, but it's a 7'3" medium heavy extra fast action rod. It's not for those 3/4 ounce jigs. It's for the ones that I throw the most, which are 3/8 ounce. And it is, as you guys can tell, I use it like there's no tomorrow. I love a 7'3" medium heavy fast action, extra fast action rod for jig fishing. It's got a really good tip. It's super sensitive. At $79.99, you can't beat a fake chrome. And I paired up with an 8:1 gear ratio reel so I can collect my line really fast to get another cast in if I'm pitching into heavy cover, thick cover, stuff like that. It's just a good all-around rod for jig fishing and for fishing a heavier Texas rig in thicker cover, that kind of stuff. Just a fun little rod to fish. 7'3", medium heavy, extra fast. All right, so last but not least, I cannot talk about my favorite rods without including a spinning rod. Yes, a fairy wand, but it's one that I use all the time for just about anything finesse fishing. Right now, I've got a drop shot rod tied, or a drop shot. Right now, I've got a drop shot tied onto it. It's excellent for shaky heads and Ned rigs and that kind of stuff. It's a Fate Black, $99.99. It's a 6'10" medium light action rod. I also like their I think it's 7'1" or 7'3". I can't remember the length of it. But the medium light action rods are excellent for those really light line techniques. I got it paired up with a Prototype X from 13 Fishing. This is a new one that's out on the market, but I also like the $100, what is it? The Creed GT is what I have on my other one that's in the box. But it's great for those finesse techniques when the bass aren't really biting, or you've got to fish deep below the trolling motor or just whatever. It's just a good all-around rod for light line techniques, and I absolutely love. The thing I love the most about this rod is the grip itself. See how much grip is up in front of the reel? That's because it allows you to get to the balance point of this rod, which is right here. It lets you get to that balance point, and when you're on that balance point, it's so much easier to hold this rod all day long. Spinning rods are not very ergodynamic. They tend to hurt your elbows and hurt your wrists and your hands after a long period of time. But if you can get to where you're not really gripping it heavy and get up on that balance point, literally you're just barely feathering this rod, and you can makes it to where you can fish it all day long, and it actually makes it more sensitive. And that's why I love the grips on this rod. So it's a Fate Black. It's $99.99, and like I said, I'll put all the links in the description. But that's my 5 favorite rods. It's the ones that I use all the time, and I have a bunch more that I'll mix in amongst, depending on the technique and the style and stuff that I'm fishing. But those are the ones under 100 bucks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. But like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.